High in an old-growth forest, a large charcoal bird sits very still. It selects a slim stick, tests its weight, and taps, once, twice, against a hollowed tree. The sound is simple, deliberate, and oddly intimate. In that moment, we see nature's quiet wisdom. This is the palm cockatoo, and today we'll listen closely to its slow, careful world.
The palm cockatoo lives in pockets of New Guinea and the northern coasts of Australia, favoring dense, old forests where great trees hold deep hollows. Call it by name, Probosciger aterimus, and picture a bird painted in charcoal, with a crest that rises like a dark crown and a gaze that feels solemn, as if it carries stories of the trees themselves. For a palm cockatoo, life often begins inside a deep tree cavity. Pairs search for those rare hollows, some carved by decades of weather, others by the slow work of termites. A single egg is laid, tended carefully. Incubation is shared, and the first weeks are hushed. Parents bringing large seeds and palm fruits, the nest a small protected universe inside the trunk. Yet beginnings are not without challenge. Suitable nesting hollows are limited. Storms can batter the canopy, and human land use sometimes fragments these old forests. Still, the story here leans towards resilience, the careful site choice, the persistence of pairs returning to the same hollows, and communities that have learned to respect those trees. It's a quiet struggle, met with measured patience. As adults, palm cockatoos move with intention. They forage slowly through the canopy, cracking open tough seeds and palm fruits with powerful beaks. Flight is deliberate, broad wing beats that read like thoughtful movement, not frantic escape. Their plumage is dark and textured, but notice the pale cheek patch and that formidable beak. These features are not for show. They are tools of survival. Now, the courtship that made this episode's title possible. Male palm cockatoos choose sticks, sometimes shaping them, and perform a drumming display against a tree trunk. Scientists have observed the careful selection, the repeated tapping, and how rhythm seems to play a role in attracting a mate. Describe it precisely, a tool used to make sound. Not whimsical human music, but an evolved behavior where object and body meet to communicate intent. It's tempting to call that tapping a drum solo, and I admit there's a little smile in that image, a bird choosing a drumstick like a craftsman. Yet we stay careful with words. Researchers note patterns and frequencies, the repeatability of the behavior, and how such displays strengthen pair bonds. Rhythm, in this case, seems to be a language of intent rather than a performance for our amusement. Palm cockatoos also live within a broader social and ecological network. Nest site competition can be fierce. Those hollow trees are prized by many species. Their presence shapes seed dispersal patterns, and conversely, their fortunes mirror the health of the forest. In some indigenous communities, these birds have cultural significance, and local knowledge often points the way toward respectful stewardship. Thinking about conservation, it's important to remain practical and hopeful. Protecting old-growth trees is the single most effective step. Support community forestry initiatives, back organizations working with local landholders, and look for ethical conservation groups that prioritize habitat protection. Small actions, especially those that center local leadership, add up over time. So what does the palm cockatoo teach us? Maybe it's patience, the way a bird shapes a stick, tests a sound, repeats the rhythm until the message lands. Perhaps it's craftsmanship, translated into the language of survival. There's also a lesson in listening, that some of nature's most interesting behaviors are slow and require us to slow down too. Before we close, a final, gentle fact. Outside the breeding context, these birds are quieter with their choice of objects, and the drumming reduces. It's a reminder that much of animal behavior is context, time to seasons, to mates, to the state of the forest. Observing this pattern helps scientists avoid quick assumptions and encourages careful study. And so, we leave the palm cockatoo in its hollowed cathedral of a tree, still tapping, still choosing, still teaching. If this quiet story brought you a moment of calm or sparked curiosity about old trees and the lives they hold, please subscribe to Avian Tranquility. Share this episode with someone who might enjoy a slow listen, and consider supporting habitat protection in your own way. Thank you for staying with me. Until next time, may small rhythms of nature keep you grounded.